Today's workout is also still on the lower body, but now we're going to get to everybody's favorite, the most common one, the most popular one, squats. Everybody talking about squats. Everybody trying to get that beautiful derriere. Everybody wants it to pop and really bang, you know? So that's what I'm going to help you with right now. We're going to work on your squats and we're going to work on your squat technique. So you have to pay perfect attention to what my feet are doing, how my legs are being placed, what my back is doing, and how to get the perfect kind of engagement or activation of the specific muscle groups you're trying to hit. Take note. Remember this, everything matters. How my feet are positioned.
Good morning to you and welcome to Sport Recap on Hills TV. Trust you had a wonderful time. Good morning and welcome to Sport Recap. I am Aidan Lubem.
Wonderful, wonderful moment for the Argentine as they cruise past Croatia by 3-0 straight up to the final of the FIFA Men's 2022 World Cup. I am Daniel Obasi.
All right, I'll quickly beginning from the local scene. Nigeria's national men's hockey team qualified to the inaugural International Hockey Federation, that is the FIH World Cup in Oman 2024, despite a 8-6 narrow loss to host Egypt. And of course, this happened in their fourth game of the African qualifiers, which began on Sunday. The team had earlier on Tuesday played out a 4-4 draw against Southern Africans, Zambia, in the morning game, with the result giving them the edge over the group opponents as they placed second behind Egypt.
Like I said, we are gradually deviating from just only football. We are beginning to go, and just the last sport festival, talking about Delta 2022 National Sport Festival, we saw some new games being introduced, hockey part of it, and even the mixed martial art also being part of it. So it tells how much we are deviating away from just football, and I think this is a very good one for us. Yes, we lost to the host Egypt 8-6, but hopefully we would be in this year's the inaugural edition of the men's talking about hockey championship.
That's right, and now moving away from that particular one, Uganda will now withdraw from the African Nations Championship, that is CHAN, because of a real over-government funding. The president of the Federation of Uganda Football Association has announced this decision. Moses Hassim Magogo, who is also a member of the Ugandan parliament, said pulling out of the tournament, which is scheduled to begin in Algeria on January 13, was a sad development. He also stated that sanctions to Uganda will affect the future if her decision is not taken now. Next year's CHAN is due to feature 18 teams, so if Uganda can do out, it will leave the organizers of the confederation needing a replacement at a short notice.
A short notice to say it shows how much we need to get better when it comes to the African continent. Now, because of financial issues, they are going to leave CAF in a dilemma. CAF did not really look at or plan for. Now 18 teams were supposed to build, including Uganda. Now Uganda stepping down 17 teams, and an unusual format you might want to say, but CAF might also look at it in their own wisdom and say, okay, let's call another country who we feel also was close to qualifying rather than Uganda, and then it becomes 18 once again. But whichever way, CAF is yet to comment on this, and hopefully in the coming days before CHAN, before January 2023, we might get to hear from the African Soccer Ruling Body talking about CAF.
All right, then, let's let you know that Africa's Soccer Ruling Body, and that is CAF, has agreed to use the application of the video assistant referee, that's the VAR, in all underage as well as interclub competitions taking place in 2023. Now, the Nigeria's Golden Eaglets and Flying Eagles are among the teams that will take part in the 2023 Africa Cup of Nations in Algeria and Egypt, respectively. The Olympic Eagles are also in the final round for the qualifier and will face Junior Slay Stars of Guinea, while Rivers United will participate in the group stage of the Confederations Cup. Is this a welcome development?
It tells you how much football is gradually growing on the continent. It goes back to what we're seeing with Morocco at the Mundial, the World Cup. It tells you that every year we keep trying to get better, and that is just what life generally should be all about. It's a good stride. The world is evolving, football is evolving, people are using the VAR. Why should we not also use it on the... Yes, we know we are using it on the senior level. Now coming down to the lower level, I want to even see... We saw that even in the women's... talking about Africa, talking about women's champions, the African Cup of Nations and all of that. So I think this is a good one for African football. We are getting there, and gradually, if we continue in this form, we might just be at that point where we wish to be.
All right, then, moving on to the international scene, where Randall Ross, part of the United States Olympic gold-winning 4x400-meter squad, has been banned for 3 years for faking an email to doping bosses. That's right, after missing 3 appointments with testers in a year, the 21-year-old said an automatic email from the whereabouts system showed he had given new details. However, Ross later admitted to the Athletics Integrity Unit, that is the AIU, that he had doctored the email. He is banned until June 2025, and his results from June onwards are void.
It's really sad. It's a sad development for me, knowing fully well that Paris 2024 is around the corner. We saw Tokyo, the Tokyo Olympics in 2021 just last year, and every athlete, and that is why we saw our own Olympics, talking about National Sports Festival, trying to groom talent, trying to groom players ahead of 2024, Paris 2024, the Olympics. Now, it's a sad one for this athlete. He won a very amazing stride with the United States, 4x400 meter race. So it's a sad one for me. He said he didn't know, but the AIU is saying that's not an excuse. You have to be banned. You didn't give us, you doctored an email and all, a fake email and all. So it's a sad one for him as an athlete, based on lies and everything. But it's just so sad that he's 21. Some people are saying he's 21. He still has a lot of years in front of him. So let's see what goes on in the future of this young man.
And now bouncing to basketball, where the award presented to NBA's most valuable player is to be renamed the Michael Jordan Trophy. Now, it is one of the 6 newly designated trophies named after NBA legends, and it follows the naming of the All-Star Game Most Valuable Player Trophy after the late Kobe Bryant. The 5 other former players are Wilt Chamberlain, John Havlicek, George Wiccan, Hakeem Olajuwon, and Jerry West. 6-time NBA champion, Jordan won the MVP award 5 times while playing for the Chicago Bulls. He spent most of his career, which began in 1984 with the Bulls, and became a global icon who helped raise the NBA's profile around the world. Is this a good one for the greatest of all time?
Some people might want to argue with you on that one. He is the greatest. There is still a LeBron James who has actually done a good chunk of what a Michael Jordan has actually done. But that's not the contention. He definitely has gotten this recognition. Now, another one that struck tickled my fancy was the fact that we saw a Nigerian, not of this a Nigerian name, talking about the legend Hakeem Olajuwon, who definitely, the winner would now be called the Olajuwon Trophy. That's given to the defensive best defensive player of the NBA every year. So it's a good one for us, even as Africans, most especially for us as Nigerians. But at the end of the day, this is a very good one, naming it after those who have actually made some amazing achievements in the world of basketball, most especially starting off with the NBA. And talking about away from basketball now to football, and this time we are talking about the World Cup. Yesterday we saw Argentina cruising past the Croatian side, who have been a dogged side all through, but yesterday they fell in the other hands of the Argentines as they lost to Lionel Messi's led side by 3-0, courtesy of a penalty from Lionel Messi, as well as a second goal coming in from Julian Alvarez, and also who got a brace, talking about the third goal. Now, what will you say was the difference for this Argentine side before we go to the big one for tonight, Morocco against France?
Well, I think Argentina were firing from all cylinders, and that's what we expected. That's the only way to overcome a defensive side. The attack will recede from the Argentine side. Like you mentioned, Alvarez was in good form, Lionel Messi in good shape also, and the trio were able to do the damage.
All right, talking about damage tonight, yet another damage would be done. But a lot of people have said the Moroccan side have already made history, even if they leave the competition at this stage. Now, for you, they would be up against the defending champions, of course, France, led by Kylian Mbappe, who has 5 goals already. Now, what would you say would happen today? Where do you see the Moroccan, even if they win? Do you even see them winning? Let's say we start from that angle.
Well, last week, it's football and anything can happen, because last week, Africa was buzzing worldwide when Morocco shockingly knocked Portugal out of the World Cup.
True.
And coming from that background, there's no team Morocco cannot beat at this point. And so I think it's a game of luck, and they'll have to do a lot to unseat the defending champions.
All right, you've heard it from Aina Lubem. A lot to do from Morocco as they go on with the support, a teaming support from the African continent up against the defending champions, who for them are also in good shape, led by that man from PSG, Kylian Mbappe. A lot will be said today. A lot has already been made by the Moroccan side. History already made, and history can still be made later on tonight by 8 p.m.
All right then, that's the much you can take on today's edition of Sports Recap. Trust you were entertained. Till we come your way next editions, I still remain Aidan Lubem.
Also, do not forget to follow us on all our social media handles on Facebook and Instagram, and also subscribing to our YouTube page. It's all at Hills TV. Until then, I am Daniel Obasi.
Thank you for watching.